Kubernetes. So basically, in short, we will understand. See, Kubernetes, whenever you are talking about the orchestrations in the container side, then there is the like Kubernetes is one of the platform for the orchestrations. Okay, so the agenda for this class is we will do the Kubernetes cluster creations. So these are the things I already explained in my last sessions. Then today we will see the Kubernetes installations. We will understand the Kubernetes architectures like creation of the pods. Kubernetes is rapidly evolving open source software. It is written in the Go language. It is using for the automating deployment, scaling and management orchestrations of containerized applications. So the site for this is kubernetes.io, and every 3 months there are the changes, so you need to also keep on update with the Kubernetes with the new features. It is about running multiple connected containers across the different hosts where continuity of service is guaranteed. So basically Kubernetes we are using in the microservices. So inside the container there are the microservices which is running a different host. So they are wherever the container kind of the mechanism, and for that we need to do the orchestrations, and we can use the platform as a Kubernetes. So basically earlier the Google is using this one with their data centers. So the Kubernetes orchestration task is like schedule the containers to run on a specific host using the ports, and join the hosts that are running container in an etcd cluster, connect the containers that are running on different hosts, make storage available, and expose the container using a service. So there are the other container management solutions like Docker Swarm, Rancher, and Red Hat OpenShift. So container provide a way to package, ship, and run the applications. Docker is one of the container, and there are so many features, not only the containers in this. So container needs in the data center. So in the container you are just deploying, you are creating image, you are deploying the image. Okay, so those kind of stuff you are doing in the containers. So about the Kubernetes host platform, so here we will use as a service in public cloud, as a set of process in Linux, and using a minimized container operating system as provided by the core OS or Atomic. So the Cloud Native Computing Foundation CNCF is a governing body that solves issues faced by any cloud native applications. So CNCF, it is one of the like foundations, and it's take caring the Kubernetes. Google donated Kubernetes to the Cloud Native Computing Foundations. Kubernetes itself uses an Apache license. Developer need to sign a contributor license agreement with the CNCF. So let's come to the understanding about the Kubernetes architecture, how it is working. Okay, see, like if I am talking about the cloud, okay, so public cloud, and in this public cloud about that you can run the Kubernetes. Okay, so the public cloud you can use for the AWS, Google, Azure, whatever other clouds. So in top of that you can use the Kubernetes, so it will be the more good. So if I am talking about Kubernetes, okay, so Kubernetes you can use as on data center like Prem. It is also one of the data center, and Kubernetes for the orchestration purpose in the container. So this is your container, suppose. So for number of the containers is there, for their orchestrations you are using the Kubernetes, and for the Kubernetes purpose, like Minikube is available for free. Okay, so you can use the Minikube features. So Minikube, that platform, for that you needed one workstations, so you can use that workstation as VMware, and one virtual inside virtual machine you need it. So virtual machine you can use like Fedora, Ubuntu, Linux, or whatever it is. Then inside the Fedora you have another virtual machine that is for the Minikube purpose. Okay, so that is also you can refer, you have a one virtual machine, inside that virtual machine you have a Minikube virtual machine, that is the you can create a Kubernetes configurations, and see container like worldwide supported. Okay, so that's why we are using the cloud. So here number of the containers they are running in Kubernetes. So basically, like if I am talking about suppose that this is the container, okay, and container that can be Docker. Okay, so in the container, what are the things is available, like container images, registry. Registry is nothing but it is a repository, and container images you can get by the Docker Compose or Docker file. Okay, for that you can create. And container runtime, like it is a Docker. Docker not only the container runtime, there are so many other things like CRIO, daemon. There are so many other features in the Docker. Okay, and top of that, Kubernetes layers. Okay, so in the Kubernetes, it is a incremental layer on top of the container. Okay, top of the container, it is a incremental layer, that is your Kubernetes. So in the Kubernetes, suppose there is a one is the master node, other one is a node 1, node 2, node 3. Okay, so the thing is why we are creating this is the architecture, so that replication and highly available model we can create. Okay, so any point of the time you can deal the multiple applications which is running on the container and multiple host, and that entire process you can manage by the Kubernetes orchestrations. Okay, so this is the Kubernetes architecture. So today we will also do the same thing, like master nodes, number of the worker nodes, Kubernetes installations we will do. Okay, so let's come to this first. See, Kubernetes, there are the various approach like Minikube and kops. Okay, you can use the Kubernetes and you can create a clusters. Okay, so I am using the kops as of now. It is quite easy. And so come to the Kubernetes on AWS. So see, there are the various documentations that is available, like create a virtual machine, enable the virtualizations in that, and then you have a virtual machine. In top of that, you will do the installations for the Ubuntu or Linux machines, and then top of that you are doing the installations of the Kubernetes, number of the node creations, master creations. So it is quite very lengthy process. And in performance wise, suppose that your system is not supported, you don't have that much of RAM, then it is very difficult to do this complete hands-on in your local host, in your laptop or in your desktop. So I am telling one of the best way to do this hands-on by the AWS cloud. Okay, and you can also do it, and you can also perform it, and genuinely you can use it. Okay, so Kubernetes on AWS using kops we will use. Okay, so we will do the setup for the Kubernetes cluster on AWS. So first step, we will go to the Kubernetes cluster on AWS we will create. So for creation that we needed the virtual machine, and that virtual machines, as we all are the AWS solution architect associate level certifications already we done, and we know how to create the EC2 machine. So for that we have to create one EC2 machine, that can be the Linux and that can be the Ubuntu, and then we can start our journey in the Kubernetes. So you can use anyone which one you are comfortable, and I am using the I am creating the EC2 Ubuntu machines. So let's come in this way. Go to the EC2. Okay, and this is your AWS account. In this AWS account, go to the EC2. So the step which I am telling, you can also follow the same. Okay, so first we need to create the our Ubuntu machine. So before going to the Ubuntu machines to create, we needed one role. So we need to create a one role. Okay, IAM role, Identity Access Management role. So just go to the Identity and Access Management, IAM, go to the role, and see, this is the very important. See, so many documentation they will hide these kind of the fact. Okay, and for that you are unable to do your successfully installations, and you will getting the so many errors. Okay, so first step, you need to create a role. So go create a role and select EC2, because this role we are doing on the EC2. So EC2, click on next permissions, and here we need to provide the some of the permissions, because even though we can define for a specific user or so as of now, very simplest way I am telling, use the administrator access. See, use the administrator access as if so what will happen, you have all the access, okay, and you can do the successfully your implementations. But in the production environment or professionally, don't use the administrator access. You can use only EC2 full access and root 53 full access. Select this, and S3 full access, IAM full access. So these four full access, you need to take it and select the administrative access as you are the beginner and you are doing the practices. Click on next, put it here, Kubernetes. Click on review. Here give the name, Kubernetes role. Okay, so all the access will come here, and click on create a role. I already created, okay, so I am not going to create role. So I can show this is the role which I also created. So Kubernetes roles. So this is the role which I created, and I am providing administrator access as well, and you can also provide the same access like IAM full access, Amazon S3 full access, root 53 full access, that is the Amazon EC2 full access. These four full access is important. Apart from that, you can give like IAM full access and Amazon BPC full access and root 53 auto naming full access, root 53 full access, root 53 resolve full access. So I am giving this, okay, and but majorly four, okay, that is the mandatory. Administrator access only just for practicing purpose you will provide, so that later on you will not get any difficulties. But in your production environment, don't use the administrator access due to the security concern. Okay, so your roles is ready. Once your roles is ready, go to the EC2 and go to the launch instance. Select here Ubuntu Server 18. Select. See, this is the implementation part. So I will suggest you can do your hands-on and then delete everything. Okay, so as if now, like little more memory I am consuming, so that it will be the more faster for me. So I am using this one. Okay, 2 CPU, that one. You can also create. Later on you can delete everything, okay, once your hands-on is over, so that it will be go the more faster. Then number of the instance is 1. Here I am selecting my custom BPC, and you guys can use the default BPC. Okay, so default BPC you can use it. I created the similar of the default BPC. One of the BPC is this. Okay, so you guys can use the default BPC. Okay, so I am using the similar of the default, my custom BPC, because I don't want to change anything. I don't want to touch my default BPC. Then subnet, so public subnet, and make this enable. Select here identity access management role, so Kubernetes roles. I select it. Go to here, then click on add storage. So it is the default. Add tags. I can add this environment tab Kubernetes. configure the security group. So I can use the existing one security group. So the basic important thing is you need to, or you can create a new security group. The important things which you needed here, like HTTP port 80, custom TCP rule 8080 port. That is the important. Make it as a all traffic, SSH 22 and HTTPS 443. Okay, so these security group inbound rule and outbound rule is important. So you can also create this one, or you can go create a new security group, SSH, make it as a HTTPS, make it as a HTTP, and all traffic and custom TCP. Okay, so put it here 8080. Okay, and make it here anywhere, 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 anywhere. Okay, so you can create this security group. I am using the existing one which I already created. So the same security group, HTTP protocol, custom TCP, all traffic, SSH, HTTPS. Go to this review and launch, select key pair. You can create the new key pair or existing key pair also use. I am using the existing key pair, VirajeTech-ELB, and launch instance. I can go the launch instance. Okay, so you can see the view instances. So it is going to create Ubuntu K8 Kubernetes demo. Okay, so it takes little time. Okay, Ubuntu machines. So now let's come to the next step. Once we done this, we done the IAM creation. We done the our EC2 instance to create. So we done our Ubuntu. Okay, we done the IAM role. Then next we need to do installations of AWS CLI in our machine. Okay, so because we will use the CLI commands in our machines, so it should be there. Okay, so for that, like, you need to connect your machine. So I'm telling one of the tool. Earlier we are using the putty and binacp, and there is one more tool which you can use, move Eckstrom. So move Eckstrom, this tool you can download. It is the one of the nice tool. So you can download this free version for this Mova Eckstrom. This is the tool you can download. Once you download, this will come as a zip. Okay, then zip is downloaded. Just extract it. Then you will get the installer. Just double click, and once it's done, then you will get in your screen this Mova Eckstrom tool like this. Okay, so I can show you. Just once it's done, then double click for this Mova Eckstrom, and then you can go this session and click on this SSH advanced SSH settings. Put it here the host number if your machine is done. Yeah, Ubuntu machine is ready and we are ready to use. So just copy this public IP, put it this remote host, put this, and give the private key. So private key, it is your pm.ppk file. So as we have a PEM file we converted like .ppk file, VirajeTech-elb.ppk. Just select this one, and port is 22. Okay, so what will happen? You connected your machine. So the user, this is the Ubuntu machine. So Ubuntu you need to give, and you connected your machine. Okay, sudo su, so you have a root access. So now what we did, we connected our Ubuntu machine. Then next step, we need to install AWS CLI tool in this machine. Same command I can provide to you also. You can also use this one. So in the chat box, you can get it. So run this curl command. So we just downloading the bundling of the CLI. It's done. Then apt install unj python. Yes, made it as a Y. So here we are getting the message. Some archive may be run apt get update. Run this command apt get update. I am putting in the chat box apt get update. So it's also done. Then unzip this AWS CLI bundle.zip. So just copy and put it here. Sudo not required for this unzipping this sudo. So I think it's needed apt install unzip. So use this so that you can also put it this apt install unzip, because that also required. If you don't have the unzip package, then unzip AWS CLI. So now you can see it's unzipped. Then after that everything is done, then run this command so that your installations part will be done for the AWS CLI. ls-lrt, I can check the zip bundle is there. Yeah, AWS CLI bundle is available. Okay, yeah, Python we can install. So now we have a Python package as well. Now just we can run this. So for this CLI, I think this Python or pip, any package, you can also put it in your installations. So now it's done and you are ready to use this AWS. So your CLI tool is done. So yeah, it's done. Let's clear this all. Okay. So now we have done this IAM role creation and attached to our Ubuntu server. Okay. Now what we need to do, we already done the AWS CLI with our virtual machine, and then like we need to configure the IAM user, okay, on this virtual machine. So for that we will use AWS Configure, this command. You already remember in the CLI tool we already done this. So just go here, AWS Configure. So don't give any access key ID, and because we already using the administrator access, and no need to give the access key ID, and just give the reason, what is your default reason. So currently I am using the US East 1A, that is the reason we are using. So we can put this US East -1, and then output format also leave it, and it's done. So now we done this AWS configure properties. So like cops need the permission to access S3, EC2, BPC, Route 53, auto scaling, etc. So that's why we created the roles, IAM roles, and that we attached. Now we need to install the cops in our EC2 machines. Okay. So for the Kubernetes to create the clusters, we needed the cops. Okay. So now we are going to install this cops in our machine. So we can execute. So if you are using the Move Eckstrom, so directly one shot you can copy this all and put it, or you can go the one by one as well. Okay. So see, this is the URL, the latest version you will get. So if you can execute the one by one as well, and you can execute the at one shot. Okay. So it's done. And then we can provide the permissions, chmod. Just run this. And then we can move this cops Linux AMD 64 in our user local bin in this directory. So it's done. You can also use the same command. So we done the cops. Next is we need to install the kubectl. So kubectl is needed for the Kubernetes. This is the one of the another components. So that also we will install it. So latest version. Kubectl is done. Give the permissions and put it this. Move to in this user local bin in the kubectl. Okay, it's done. Then next step, you need to create S3 bucket, because now we done the kubectl, we done the cops. So we need to create a cluster. Okay, like one is the master node, another is the like secondary nodes. Okay, so we need to create a like clusters. Okay, so for that we needed the S3 bucket in the AWS. So S3 bucket is used by the Kubernetes to persist the cluster state. Let's create the S3 bucket and by the like AWS CLI, okay, and bucket name always should be the unique, okay, so that because it is the for across the region. So you need to give this AWS command S3 resource mb is the command which will create your bucket and give the bucket name. So s3 colon double slash, give the bucket name and give the like hyphen region is give the regions. Okay, so it should be the unique. So I am creating one of the bucket like dap VirajeTech VirajeLive dot in. Okay, reason is US -1. Okay, VirajeLive I'm going to create. If I will go as of now in the S3, there is no, okay, VirajeLive already is there. So okay, I'm going to create like dab k at s VirajeTechLive.com. So this is the bucket or .net. So my bucket name is this. So this will reflect there. This will reflect there. And reason is US-East-1. Okay. So reason how you can check? You can check in the EC2 machines there. So I am going to create this one bucket, VirajeTechLive.net. Yeah. So bucket is getting created. Now if I will check, refresh it. Yeah. VirajeTechLive.net. That bucket is going to, it's created. Okay, now next step, I need to create the hosted John. So by using the AWS Route 53, okay, so we need to create one hosted John. Go to this service Route 53, okay, hosted John. So I created my bucket is this, okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm creating my hosted Johns VirajeTechLive.net, okay. So create hosted John, domain name VirajeTechLive.net. Select here private hosted John. You can have a, if your own uh, domain, then you can go the public, otherwise go the private. And here select the BPC ID. So you can select the default BPC. I created the custom BPC, the same BPC I will use which I was using earlier. So I used this, created. So now what will happen? Your record set is created. Okay, you can see this. Okay, so hosted Johns also is ready. Now, one more important things. We need to check the BPC which we hosted. Okay, in that BPC, so this is the BPC which I am using. In this BPC, okay, check your DNS resolution should be enabled and DNS hostname should be enabled. If it is not, then you should go this action and go to this edit DNS resolutions, edit DNS hostname and make it as a enable. Okay, and save it. That you need to make sure that. Then we need to configure the environment variable so that we no need to change again and again define our variables. So the file called bash.bash rc file, so that we will just open vi.bash rc file. Okay, so bash rc file, you can choose any arbitrary name for the cluster and make sure it will be like whatever we created, that stuff is available in this or not. Okay, so just open this file. So press R to restart for this. Clear sudo su and run this bash R. So just run this. Now this is the file. Just press the insert keyword in your laptop or desktop so that you can add it and put it these two variables, kops cluster name, kops state store. So as I created S3 is VirajeTech live. So I just keep this name so that it takes automatically by this variable. And I created this VirajeTech live.net, my cluster name. Okay, be careful. So whatever you created the cluster and S3 bucket, you need to provide here and go here. And so if you check, you need to put it here after this if block and paste it those values, and then escape, press the escape key, shift colon wq not get, enter. So it will save. Once this is done, then next step, because these variables you need to reload in your file again, so you need to execute this source command. Okay, just put this source command and again run this bash rc file. So now it is the reloaded, otherwise change won't reflect. Once it's done, okay, then we need to create the SSH key pair. So this key pair is used for SSH into Kubernetes clusters. So we will use this SSH-keygen. So run this SSH-keygen and just override it in the default locations. Press enter, again press enter, and it's taken the default locations. Then next, we need to create a Kubernetes clusters. Okay, Kubernetes cluster definitions. So we need to execute this command. Okay, kops create cluster, give the state. State is kops state store. So already we defined this. Node count is 2, master size to t2.micro. We can change this one also. Node hyphen size t2.micro, we can change our nodes. John US East hyphen 1A we define. We can give the, because I am using this, whatever you are using, you will give that one, and you can give the multiple also, like by the comma, and you can give the multiples as well. I'm giving the one, and then name equal to kops cluster name, whatever you have, and then DNS private master. If you want the how many masters you want, I want the one master, then master count is 1. Okay, just copy this complete. Okay, and put it here, execute in one shot. Okay, enter. Okay, so it's not creation of the cluster, it's just showing the definitions, what are the things you will get while running these commands. Okay, so number of the nodes and masters, it's created while executing this. Okay, so these are the factors is created for the auto scaling. So everything is created. So it is the definitions. So these are the things will create, and creations will happen. Okay, then you need to actual creating the clusters. Then you need to run this kops update cluster hyphen hyphen yes. So earlier just you are checking the definitions, what are the things will create. Okay, so now kops update clusters. So what will happen once I will put this command, then the creation will happen actually. Okay, so after executing this command, even though you are getting the message, okay, and it is ready, okay, it takes 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, because your number of the nodes is going to create, your number of them, so your master also is going to create, your stack is going to create. I can show you here. Okay, if you go the EC2 much time, EC2 in this time, okay, you can see, okay, number of the nodes is auto created. Node master nodes, 2 nodes and 1 master is creating, is happening. Okay, as well you can see in this IAM, okay, in the roles, if you see master VirajeTech live.net is created, nodes is created. Okay, and in your root 53, there also you can see VirajeTech live.net, it is created. Okay, some more things is created. And in your S3 bucket, if you will go VirajeTech live.net, okay, so these are the things is created, your clusters. Okay, very interesting. So you can see your complete stacks is going to create your masters, your nodes. Okay, the architecture which we saw, it takes like, because your machines is going to create, once it's done, then you can validate your cluster, kops validate cluster. Okay, so even though you are getting the validation failed error, so it doesn't mean there is something wrong. Reason is what we not done all the, like our machine is not yet up and running, and some more components we are not configured the all the components. Okay, so just I'm waiting for this. So now you can see all the instance is up and running except one. Yeah, okay, so all instances running status. So these 3 instances still is initializing. So even though if you will run your command, okay, you will get this kops validate cluster. If you run this, you will get the message of this kops validate cluster. Yeah, it's failed. Reason is what? Not yet done. Okay, even though, so you need to run, like again you can also run, or you can wait 5 minutes. Okay, and to get it done. So now I'm refreshing this one. Still this initialization is happening. So basically what we are going to create here, we are going to create here this your AWS cloud. There you have a like containers, whatever it is running, okay, in that machine. Okay, you have putting this top layer, Kubernetes layers, and in that machine you have a master nodes, and top of that like worker nodes, 1 2 3 and number of the worker nodes. Okay, so what the structure we created, we created one machine. In that, like we done the kops, and by using the, so we installed the kops. Okay, and that cop, top of that you have this master node, and there is the number of worker node. Okay, and in your machine you can put the containers, okay, like Docker and all also you can install in this one too. Okay, so now we can check everything is ready, all the status is checked. Yeah, done. Now again I am rerun this command kops validate cluster, and this time still it is failing. Okay, so validation failed, it doesn't mean so something is going wrong. Okay, because we not yet done. If you see here in the message, like master node is done and nodes 2 that also is done. Okay, and okay, so now everything is true. You can see everything is done. Okay, so VirajeTech live.net is ready. Our cluster is created. So once cluster is created, we validate it as well. And then now I want to connect with the master. So to connect with the master, so you need to execute the command like SSH admin at the rate API, and what is your cluster? Okay, that name you need to give. So this is the my cluster. So I can able to log in my master machine. Enter. So now, yes, you can see now I am able to log in this master machine admin. So this is the admin machine. You can check. So the masters which is running. So you can see here like 172.50.300. So one this is the master and another this is the master. So anyone in that, yeah, this one. Okay. So you are able to operate your master machines. Once you do that, okay, then you can configure the ports. As if now if I will run this kubectl get ports, okay, so I don't have any resources. Okay, so I need to create the ports. Okay, so I'm going to create this kubectl, create the ports. So the ports is created. Once I created, this time again I can rerun this command and see I'm getting this ports is there. Okay, then I need to get the like IP address for that pod, because in the pod some services is running, I can run. So I need the IP address, so I will execute the describe command. Okay, to get the pod definitions. What are the config? So this is the IP address for this pod 196.2. Okay, and that I will replace. So in the 8080 port, just run this. Now you can see Java Home version 1 running on the Kubernetes. So my sample applications is running on the Kubernetes pod. Okay. Now, if executing the command on the pods, Okay, so these things we can check: host name, Kubernetes service host, Kubernetes service port, Kubernetes service port, Kubernetes port TCP, and so we got all the informations. Then if we want to check the logs for this pod, then kubectl logs node. So you can get this logs. And you want to expose, see, instead of local, you want to expose your service to the internet. So for that, you need to execute this command. So what will happen? It will expose to the internet. So expose pod node app in the port. So it will go to the internet. So service is exposed to the internet. Okay. So now, like if you want to go the pod bash, so you can execute this command. Then you can go this pod bash. Okay. And if you want to delete all the clusters, then cops delete cluster hyphen hyphen yes, then everything will be deleted. Okay. Guys, after your experiment, I will suggesting delete this. Okay, cops delete cluster hyphen hyphen yes. Because what is happening in your machines, in your AWS, you have a three, four machines is running. Okay, even though you will stop again and again, it won't stop because what is the master and secondary concept? If any secondary is down, then master is creating the new one. Okay, so even though you will terminate here also, again and again it will create because you have a this Ubuntu machine, okay, your server. So it will again create the formations. So you need to delete that one. Okay. And as well, you need to delete this parent machine and you need to go in the IAM role. Whatever the roles is created, that also you need to delete. Root 53, what are the additional hosted is created, that also you need to delete. And okay, so these are the things you need to delete. Okay. And after your experiment, okay, so I am telling what you need to do. Cops delete cluster hyphen yes. So this command you need to execute once your experiment is over, so that whatever you created, it's deleted. Okay. So where you will execute after the came out from the machine. This is the admin, it is the master. Okay. So like so here just execute this cop delete. So what will happen? Whatever you done, it's deleted. Okay, guys. So and after running this also you need to check once. Okay, and go to this root at 53 and deleted your hosted zones after the experiment. And Go to this S3 bucket because cluster state is saved here. You can delete from here also, and go to the IAM because it will get the auto access because you provided the administrator. So role in that, go to this remove the roles you created. Kubernetes roles. Apart from that, this masters and nodes roles, that also you need to delete. Okay, and stop all the machines. Okay, so it is deleted or not. See now, when I delete, automatically the stop terminated other nodes and all. Okay, so this is the way, and so you can create your hands-on. So this is the working steps. Okay, this is the working steps which I am providing you. So follow this content, this materials and this video, and you can do this Kubernetes installations, and no need to go for the like virtual box and all. By the AWS itself you can do. Okay.